16. We still have Judge Glenda Hatchett, SARA AZARI with us. So this was something, there's a statute in the state, as I understand it, that allows a 16 or a 17-year-old to carry a long gun in public. Prosecution said this is really only if they have a hunting license, and this should only be for hunting. This count, Judge, was now dismissed. Just walk us through what we just heard and why this is so important.
Yeah, it's very interesting to follow that, because at the end of the day, we still have to remember that Kyle was not licensed to carry that gun, regardless of the barrel length. So you heard them talk about the length of the barrel because they're referring to the statute and count 6 being dismissed. But really what the prosecution really had to be able to show, and I think is going to be confusing for the jury, is that still this is a kid who came across state lines, was underage, should not have had the weapon in the first place, and should not have been in possession, and that his possession in and of itself was illegal. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out with the other jury instructions that are going to be given.
Sarah, SARA AZARI, the other guidance early on was the judge, I don't know if chastising is too strong a word, but criticizing the defense, saying that they might bore jurors if they went over again what the requirements are under self-defense under the law, for self-defense under the law. I wonder what you thought the significance of that was.
God, no. I mean, when you're talking about self-defense, and I think the next thing that I would say is just as important is proof beyond a reasonable doubt, right? Those are things that you really want to drill into the juror's head. I mean, these are lay people. Most lawyers don't make it on a jury, so I'm assuming they're lay people. The law is what they have to follow and apply to the facts that they heard throughout this trial. I would repeat it more and more because, I mean, you know, just to err on the side of caution, I think the judge was basically saying, we'll lay it out in great detail as, you know, the first time we're giving that instruction, but then we won't do it as much in detail because we're going to lose the jury. I don't think so. I think when you're dealing with such a critical issue that someone's guilt or innocence turns on, you can't repeat it enough. I mean,
Judge, to Sarah's point, was that surprising at all to you?
Interesting, because I hear exactly what Sarah's saying from the perspective of a defense attorney. I get it. But I also understand that there has to be some sensitivity about the attention span of the jurors. And I think that that's a delicate balance. However, having said that, if the attorneys weigh that and say that there can be a concise piece around the issue of the standard of proof, the burden of proof here, and particularly the self-defense argument here, or instructions rather, then I think that that could proceed in a more concise form that gets the information to the jurors, but does not just prolong it indefinitely.
Okay, so big picture, Sarah, we're about to begin closing arguments here. We're down to 5 charges. We are expecting the possibility of instructions to the jury that they have the ability to consider lesser charges than the top charge of homicide here. Tell us, in your view, how this plays out in the coming hours and days.
Yeah, I think that the prosecution is going to rely heavily on what is shown on the video, and that's why that cautionary instruction is a big deal, right? Because if that video is altered in a way or where it emphasizes something more than it should, the jurors need to know that. So the prosecution is going to rely on the video. The prosecution is going to argue that Rittenhouse had no justification to shoot these 3 men, killing 2 of them. They're going to highlight the credibility issues that Rittenhouse has. You know, he said he was an EMT. He's a poser. He said he went there to protect a business. Business owner said he never enlisted his help. You know, he lied about not shooting anyone. He said he was there not
Sarah,
to
I'm going to
trouble.
interrupt you there.